You know, one thing I really can't complain about when making all these YouTube videos is where my office is for the day. Take a look at where I am right now. So I am down here in Rose Bay Marina, which is a well-known marina here in Sydney, Australia. I've got two beautiful looking boats on either side of me, and we will be dealing mainly with this one on the left-hand side of me today, a boat called Ghost 2, a very famous charter boat here in Sydney, Australia. And the reason why I'm down here today is actually to follow a whole bunch of training crew around with the Superyacht Crew Academy. The idea on today's video is a bit of a hot topic, really. It's to give you guys an indication on sort of what the deckhand duties are, what a deckhand does, what his job description is, and the training that goes with it in this case to get them ready for the Superyacht Summer. So the idea behind today is basically showing you what the Superyacht Crew Academy teaches their students when going over and what to prepare for. So if you're a crew watching this, you're getting a bit of a bonus, that's for sure, but also the indication of kind of giving you guys some insight and some behind the scenes of what a deckhand does in a day, and at the same time what they're trained for. If you have any further questions, pop them down below. So let's get to it. So right now the students are basically just getting a tour of the boat, making sure that they understand where all the AV side is, all the technical stuff is, where the alarm panels are, the muster stations and things like that. The reason why I'm making this video as well is just to give you some insight on myself. The first time I ever stood foot on a super yacht, like a proper super yacht, was the day I was hired on Motor Yacht CL, which was the award-winning 62 meter. Now that is crazy, and the reason why this is so good for crew, or so good for anybody that's going into the industry, is just to get rid of those nerves, to get on board a boat and to sort of do some day work, some line handling, some washdowns, you know, and they get into the technical side of dropping anchors and everything. So it really just puts the new crew member or anybody at ease, so that when they arrive on that side, that they're far more comfortable in saying, I've done a day's worth of day work already, I'm happy to get the job done. So that's what's being done, and we'll showcase the drills to you guys and everything coming up a little bit later.
Now this crew accommodation was initially designed for 6, and this meets the basically IMO standard for the minimum size they do for crew accommodation. In the design of the vessel, they said that the crew could do watch down here. You cannot do watch in a sealed box. So as soon as we got the boat, we just removed it and said, look, you need to do it upstairs. If you're on watch, don't bring your doona up there, don't bring your pillow. We had that before. A deckhand was on watch, and then the next person walked up and he was fast asleep, and then had turned down the radio because apparently it's annoying. So they didn't really last on the boat. And this symbol here means what? Muster station. So this is a muster point. So you've got 2. Now you have to have a member of crew for both. Okay, so there's no point sending guests here if they haven't got direction. You watch the video on the Costa Concordian, you already know how things can escalate quickly if they're not given the right instructions. We're just going to give this area a quick teak clean, okay? Due to the direction of the wind, that the boat has got a slight amount of sand on it. To get that off, you need to use volume of water, not pressure, volume, and then you can start to actually clean the boat. If you use brushes and soap products on that now, you've got a risk of scratching the boat.
So right now you can see in the background the guys are getting a good briefing and a good walk around the boat, basically showcasing all the bow lines, all the aspects of where the teak are generally damaged most around the bar area up here, what they've done to prevent the oil stains and things like that, and showcasing everything according to this boat, but then overall generalizing it to boats in general. So normally speaking, when you join a boat for the first time, you do get a long walk around, and you get a far more intensive idea of where all the fire extinguishers are, where all the fire panels are, where your muster stations are, how to launch your life rafts, talking general safety of the life rafts and how that particular vessel likes to manage their drills. It's normally the first thing that happens when you get hired on a boat anyway, is almost a day-long walkthrough of everything with different crew members that are basically willing to show you all the must-haves and must-knows. guys upstairs are busy getting some basic training on Teak. Teak has been on pretty much every single boat I've ever worked on when it comes to the super yachting industry, and it's just one of those things that's like, it's a tedious job, but it only gets done every couple of weeks. Some boats are different where you'll almost be doing it after every single charter, and some boats will be doing it every couple of months. So every boat does it differently, but when it comes down to actually cleaning Teak, it's all very similar. So the guys upstairs right now are just getting rid of some pretty nasty marks, some basics always with Teak, always against the grain. So they are just basically all going to have a chance to give the Teak a clean, and any questions get asked and answered on the spot. We're just about to break for lunch, and then we'll be taking this boat off the dock. They'll be understanding some line handling. For some of them, a first go on a yacht and what it's actually like at sea, and then some anchor drops and a lot of drills. As an overview term for what deckhands do on board boats, it's maintenance. It's maintenance all day long when you're not helping guests or having the toys out or doing whatever it is when the guests are on board. You are maintaining the vessel to look as best it can, considering this vessel is on board saltwater. It's always going to need maintenance. It's always going to need upkeep. So at the end of the day, general overview of deckhands work is just as much upkeep as possible, whether it's the teak, the stainless steel, washing down, or general all-round maintenance in the engine room. There's always something to do on boats, that's for sure. Big day for the crew in my opinion. The guys and I getting the opportunity to get a rundown from the captain, as well as the instructor on charts and the different instruments that he's using for navigation. Certainly a hell of a lot more than what I had before going into the crew industry. Right, so on our way back, I don't know if the guys even know just yet, but they're going to get put through a bunch of drills. It's super important, and you'll often find that crew will get the opportunity, and in fact there's a requirement on boats to do drills a certain amount a year. So what you'll find is they're going to probably do a man overboard drill today and a fire drill and perhaps one other one, but it'll give them a good indication on really taking all the knowledge that they've learned during their STCW and actually putting it into effect for either a fire drill, a man overboard drill, or something like abandoned ship. So that is actually one of the first times I've ever seen a man overboard done with an actual person man overboard, as well as a spinal injury. So some really good insight there from a man overboard drill. I've actually never seen one done quite to that extent, so pretty good for them.
Emergency anchor drop, total loss of main power, all crew, emergency anchor drop, emergency anchor drop.
So as soon as he says that, we're going to get it ready. At this point, and then brake straight off.
All crew, small fire in the garage, thermal alarm.
The engineer has come up, said he could not extinguish the fire with a fire extinguisher. Is it a good idea for the deckhand now to go back down where the engineer failed to give it a go? Probably not. So we're shutting down this to try and contain the fire and starve it of oxygen. If we starve it, the fire is going to slowly go down. However, you've seen how fiberglass boats react to fire. Not good. We need to get the fire hose out.
Full fire source, let's go!
The chemicals which are in here and the fiberglass which is in here is going to start going to heat up. When it heats up, it's going to release chemicals. There is no way you will continue boundary cooling if you cannot breathe.
Do you think that the objective was eventually achieved in all three? Yeah, in all three eventually we got the person back on quite safely. There is no rush in man overboards. That's the one drill we slow right down on. In real life, we don't rush to get the person out of the water. We just safeguard their spine. That's the number one thing. So that was actually run very well. The emergency anchor drop, I didn't see a single problem. I wasn't up on the forecastle, I don't know if there were any problems, but it seemed to drop fine. Have a think about which one you drop as to which way the wind's blowing. Murray dropped the correct one because we're going out this way. If he had to drop the starboard side one when we're drifting away from the wind, what would happen to the chain? Straight underneath the boat. With this one, fire drills, because they are so urgent, you can actually see what happened. People did this. A captain locked himself in the cabin. It just got too rough for him, too severe, and he just went in a meltdown and made the first mate take over. You will always have to study the role above you for any scenario where the person is injured or not capable. They may simply have a bit of a meltdown. You just got to step up. And so that's where never be afraid to put your input in. With fires, it has to be urgent. The quicker you get on the fire, the only chance you've got to save the ship.
Just to briefly touch on deckhand duties, if you're working on a 60 meter or an 80 meter, you're very rarely going to have the opportunity to deal with chart works and chart correction, especially as a starting deckhand, which was touched on in this course in particular. But if you're working on a 30 meter, a 20 meter, or even up to a 40 meter, there's a good chance that you will have the opportunity to deal with chart corrections and different chart plotting. So it's quite tough to prep a deckhand for a yachting season when you don't know what type of boat he's going to be working on. For example, on the last boat I worked on, 34 meters, I did everything from standing navigational watch all the way through to polishing the stainless myself. Now that's never going to happen on a 60 to 80 meters. So training guys for a course like this, it's just best to give them the most all-round general experience that they can, and to feel as comfortable as possible in as many fields as possible, ranging from the engineering side through to the chart and navigation side, and then naturally just the basic deckhand stuff. So I think the Superyacht Crew Academy did a really good job with that today. From my opinion, the guy that was training and giving the instruction today comes from a big boat building background. He actually helped build this boat up in the yard. He's done a lot of sea time in his cadetship, so he's somebody that knows a lot, ranging from the navigational stuff down to the engineering as well as the deck stuff as well. So I think all around really good experience for the guys that were on board doing their deck training. And if you're interested in doing your deck training and you are in the Sydney area, I really would recommend the Superyacht Crew Academy. And the last thing I want to touch on, just to the crew or the guys that are looking to become crew, if you get the opportunity to if you get the opportunity to work on a boat before you head over to the Med Caribbean, a boat like this or any of these boats that are in this marina, it really will help you just get as much experience as possible in your home port before you head out and look for work. Any experience is good experience, and this course certainly would help as well.